Welcome to another Top 10 Amazing World episode. Eating healthy should be a priority for everyone, as the saying goes, you are what you eat. Plus your body will thank you over time, and so will your partner. But seriously, who doesn't like eating? Many of the foods available today are loaded with toxins and pesticides that can destroy you in no time. While some of these killer foods are obvious, others come as a complete surprise. It's those little surprises that we'll focus on today. So here are 10 foods you should never eat again. Number 10. Sausage and bacon. Everyone's favorite, especially in the form of a hot dog or in some parts of the world, a full English breakfast. But, meats that have been processed are the worst of all worlds. They're generally made with red meats that are high in saturated fats and contain a lot of advanced glycation end products, AGEs, which are inflammatory compounds produced when these processed meats are dried, smoked, and cooked at high temperatures. According to meat science, when nitrates and nitrites in cured and raw, uncured meats are exposed to high heat, they can transform into carcinogenic nitrosamines. And your sausages are typically roasted on a flame-flickering grill, and your bacon is cooked in a frying pan, right? Manufacturers are required to add antioxidants, such as vitamin C, which, according to a review published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, helps to inhibit the formation of nitrosamine. While a study showed that processed foods already contain 80% less nitrites than they did previously, you should take extra measures to limit your nitrosamine exposure by buying uncured meats that contain no nitrites, only salt, and lowering the heat. Number 9. Restaurant desserts. You thought we'd say the sugar, didn't you? Then there's the matter of calories. And fat. As well as everything else. While all of this is accurate, and restaurant desserts are dangerous because the portions are always oversized, many people overlook the sodium content. The majority of sodium in the typical diet comes from salt, which is beneficial in small doses but harmful in large quantities. The average person absorbs 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day, far exceeding the 1,500 to 2,300 milligrams recommended for a balanced diet. When you eat too much sodium, it builds up in your body and can cause a number of health problems, including high blood pressure and fluid retention. Instead, a tiny scoop of sorbet at the end of a meal is a low-risk way to fulfill your sweet tooth. Number 8. Fast food. It's no surprise that this makes our list of foods you shouldn't eat. But do you know why? You may not know what phthalates, THL-atis, are, but you should know what they are. Don't worry, we've got your back. This is because all of us are unknowingly consuming endocrine-damaging chemical toxins. Phthalates, like BPA, are found in plastic food and beverage wrappers and packaging, and they're not going anywhere. Research published in Environmental Science and Technology linked phthalates to the inflammatory marker CRP, and another study published in Environmental Health linked higher phthalate exposure to metabolic syndrome, a condition that is often linked to elevated inflammation and weight gain. Our best recommendation is to limit your visits to fast food restaurants and instead seek out fast casual restaurants, which use packaging less often. Or better yet, check out some of the awesome cookbooks to make more nutritious and tasty meals at home. We've left a link in the description below. You can thank us later. Number 7. Bottled water. Most people know about this, but it surprises us that they're still as widely used. Most plastic bottles contain BPA. BPA is a hormone-mimicking chemical used in almost all food packaging plastics, and it's potentially harmful. Chronic ingestion of this compound, according to a study published in Clinical and Experimental Reproductive Medicine, can cause a number of hormonal changes, including early puberty in females, sperm loss, obesity, and increased rates of reproductive cancers. One of the things BPA is notorious for is causing men to develop breasts by disrupting their hormones, according to a report published in Reproductive Toxicology. Come on guys, we know you don't want that. Pour filtered water into a metal flask or non-BPA bottle to join the growing number of people who want to stay hydrated while still staying alive and with little to no improvement in the size of their breasts. We're huge fans of the Chili's bottle. It keeps hot water hot for 12 hours and cold water cold for 24 hours, and it comes in 2 different sizes and many awesome designs. There's a link in the description where you can get yours today. Number 6. American cheese. The icky additive-laden slab of orange cheese in your supermarket's dairy case is more than just a flavorless mass of dairy-like ingredients. Although several companies are luckily using natural colors to give their cheese the signature bad spray tan shade, they are still filling those icky slices with additives that can be detrimental to your health. This variation of cheese is rich in sodium citrate, which can induce muscle spasms and be dangerous to people who have kidney problems. They're also rich in sodium phosphate, a preservative used to protect meat and dairy goods from crystallizing, which has been related to an elevated risk of bone demineralization, osteoporosis, and kidney disorders. If you can't stop yourself from eating cheese, go with an organic kind that's free of preservatives and artificial colors. If you want to be softer on the stomach, go for aged white cheddar or Parmesan cheese. They have the lowest lactose levels, making them the least likely to induce bowel problems among the approximate 75% of adults who can't completely digest lactose. Number 5. Chewing gum. We can see you all scratching your heads to this one. Will chewing gum be called a snack if it isn't swallowed? In a way. The point is that, though much of the gum is indigestible, some of the additives are sugar alcohols and artificial sweeteners. Sugar alcohols are sugar replacements that have been related to bloating and other digestive problems. Sorbitol, in fact, takes a long time to absorb, and some undigested sugar alcohol in the small intestine provides an ideal atmosphere for bacteria to ferment, resulting in much more bloating and flatulence. When it comes to artificial sweeteners used in trendy gums, you're ingesting ingredients that have been clinically shown to stimulate your sweet receptors and increase appetite, which is another cause you're always hungry. Try sunflower seeds if you have a habit of chewing. They're not only delicious, but they're still high in vitamin E, the body's main fat-soluble antioxidant. Chewing gum has been associated with looking cool, but we promise, your body will thank you in the long run. Number 4. Fruit yogurt. Those happy girls in yogurt advertisements have clearly not read the ingredient list on their ostensibly nutritious snack. Most fruit-flavored yogurts on the market produce very little fresh fruit, instead of relying on sugar to sweeten their recipes. And what about those brilliant colors you believed came from the fresh fruit in the recipe, we hear you ask? Currently, they're made from fruit juice concentrate. Another product to keep an eye on is carrageenan, a plant-based emulsifier that has been related to inflammation in people with gastrointestinal disorders in research. Just because you're trying to eat better, yogurt doesn't have to be totally off the table. Plain, unsweetened yogurt is rich in live cultures, which will support the intestinal microbes, improve the immune system, and reduce your risk of anything from diabetes to depression. If you're nervous about the bloating that dairy yogurt can induce, coconut milk yogurt with live cultures tastes exactly like the real thing and delivers all of the same gut health benefits. Number 3. Frozen fish and fish products. There's something fishy going on in the frozen food section. Manufacturers soak lower quality fish in a bath with sodium tripolyphosphate to help them maintain moisture and reduce the volume of water they expel during thawing, STPP. STPP is a registered pesticide and potential neurotoxin that the FDA finds generally accepted as safe to consume. Since it is GRA, manufacturers are not required to use this potentially harmful additive. Polyphosphates are not an important component in frozen fish products, according to a report by the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Such negative side effects of adding STPP to fish include a significant increase in sodium levels in your food, which may negate the many positive heart health benefits of eating fish in the first place, as well as an increase in dietary phosphates, which have been linked to an increased risk of death from cardiovascular disease in patients with chronic kidney disease or prior heart conditions. The total amount of STPP allowed in seafood is regulated in Europe, Canada, and other countries, 0.1 to 0.5%, but not in the United States. This additive isn't needed to be branded by businesses, but certain packaged goods do. Seafood that is labeled dry has not been washed with STPP, while seafood that is labeled wet has been immersed in it. Number 2. Reduced fat peanut butter. I thought everything with reduced fat or no added sugar is good for me, I hear you say. Don't be fooled by the lower fat content. Low-fat peanut butter is not a healthy snack. Although peanuts are a healthy source of protein and fiber on their own, the other ingredients in low-fat peanut butter can make you want to flee. As the natural fats in peanut butter are removed, they're often replaced with a lot of sugar and salt to compensate for what would otherwise be a bland and flavorless food. Enjoy the full-fat raw peanut butter instead of the waist-widening sugar and salt. Peanut butter is also extremely simple to make at home. Simply mix some peanuts with a small amount of oil or honey, to taste, in a blender and puree until creamy. Plus, the full-fat raw peanut butter has many benefits too, including aiding weight loss. It suppresses hunger that leads to weight loss, lowers the risk of cardiovascular and coronary heart disease, lowers the risk of cancer and protects against Alzheimer's and other neurodegenerative diseases. Number 1. Instant noodles. When trying to eat well, remember that healthy food is never instant, and nothing encapsulates the unhealthiness of instant foods better than instant noodles. The amount of sodium in instant noodles is very high. and they contain what's known as monosodium glutamate, or commonly known as MSG, which has its own set of health problems. Despite popular belief, MSG is not poisonous, rather, it is highly addictive. It is used by restaurants as a taste enhancer to keep consumers coming back for more. It also enhances appetite, making you want to eat more. That brings us to the end of today's 10 foods you should never eat again. Let us know in the comments if we've missed something that made it on your list. Be sure to like, subscribe and share this video with your family and friends. Also, make sure to check out the channel's other amazing content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.